good time zone. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. I was really worried my eyes weren't working. I was fiddling with the software and that wasn't working. I defaulted to the tried and true method of giving them a good smack, and then they started working. I will probably have to take a more detailed look at that and do some maintenance on them. Could have been a fluke, but better safe than sorry. So now, launch the game. We're back. Day 2. We're ending a grand overture. I've been messing around with the bass thing a little bit, and I'm not sure, unless I was gonna see if maybe there's a setting or something, but as far as I know, the button that automatically sends all operators to the dormitories will send everyone, not just like people who are completely out of stamina, right? It'll send to lower stamina characters. I haven't fully tested it, but I feel like it should only send completely empty. I'll have to see again. Still trying to figure that out. A lot of my setup, the presets are cool, but a lot of my setup, it doesn't really work with presets. Unless I guess unless I start using more characters and put specific teams, just like these characters are only going to be in this factory. Because I usually just swap out whoever's available. I have sets of teams, but I usually just put them wherever they're available. So I can use, like, I guess less characters overall, but perhaps I should. The presets, you know, would that make it faster? Maybe. Bam. We'll have to figure it out. Because I want to use it, like, it's there, the features are there. They're definitely better. I have to figure out what the best way to use them is with how I've been playing. Good time zone, Luigi. Alright. No point of order, we've already upgraded Vina, so... nothing to worry about there. Last time, on ending a grand overture, The war is over. Victoria is now settled into a precarious peace. With the aid of the Glasgow gang at her side, Vina Victoria has been named Speaker of Parliament. But all is not well in Londinium. Sarkaz, left from the war, still roam the streets. And the upstart mercenary Misc has been causing trouble for the new government. And of course, the nobles still play their game. And that's what happened last time. Crippling illness, sleepless nights due to pain are rare for the infected of Rhodes Island. I used to think suppressants like that were available everywhere. Unfortunately not. So we tried out Vina's first skill, so let's try the second one now.
I fight alongside you once again, Doctor, with a sword that's not just for show.
Vina's no longer Glasgow. Yeah, she's as Morgan said in her book, it was always just Vina who was the main character. May the vast lands they keep over King, whatever that word is, his people and ally, his well-willing. What is this, Welsh? I don't know Welsh. And give him grace without ending. Then may we call and savely sing. Victoria, ye thanks for our home. I think that's our, actually. Oh, is that our king? Is king the first one? King? I don't know what well-willing maybe? His people and all his well-willing? Maybe? Not Welsh, it's just, they're just spelled with Y's for whatever reason. I looked a bit like Welsh though. Throne Room, Palace of Westalig, October 8th, 9:45 p.m., 1098. You've been humming that song ever since we stepped into the throne room. Do you like it? Like is a strong word. It's just left an impression on me. My foster parents would hum it by my bedside whenever I couldn't sleep. I thought it was a lullaby. It's only long after they've passed that I've realized whom I was to them, who was their king. The song became a stranger from that day forth. But the tune has remained familiar. I would never forget it. Do you still remember him, the king? I'm not familiar with him. As for the man who is my closest blood relative, I won't lie, Doctor. I tried to piece together an image of my father in my memory. But when I saw him again with my own eyes, there was nothing familiar about him. He was a king and I'm just a gangster from the streets. We had nothing in common save for the name Victoria. There are more important things for me to think about. You heard the Dukes talking. They're ready to abandon Londinium, my home, to whatever fate. This wasn't what I expected when Dr. Calcic got you out of Chernobog and got me to plan a return to Victoria. But I've come too far to let it go. Responsibility is a curious thing. I can't let go of Rhodes Islanders either. We're the same. We're not so different, you and I can't let go of Rhodes Island. The Dukes know you can't let go of the people who need you. They're counting on it. And we're counting on them being obsessed with maintaining their own power. As long as their pride still needs the name Victoria, the city will have time to recover. They don't care about the land. Why the Dukes fight the war? Well, they did care, but now Londinium is full of infected. They don't want that. As the Duke of Castor said, if the scar... I don't remember the exact quote she said yesterday, but like, if Londinium proves too much of a scar that would ruin like the image of Victoria, they'll just get rid of it. It's a deal where the outcome is predetermined, and both sides on the table know that. It's the people who have had my back through it all that keeps me going. We're home. The war is over. It's time to listen to their voices. Lena. What is it, Doctor? Perhaps the day will come when Rhodes Island doesn't approve of the choices you make. Perhaps the day will come when you don't approve of the choices Rhodes Island makes. I feel like we said both of those. Yeah, she's government now. I know. Many of us find it hard to accept that you assisted Rishadel with the evacuation of the remaining Sarkaz. But this war can go no longer. We've lost enough people. And we've heard Sarkaz warning, loud and clear. The ducal fleets held their positions during the retreat because they all got the news. Massive catastrophe clouds forming over the capitals of most of the core countries almost simultaneously. Talk about straightforward. They strolled back to Kasdal in broad daylight. You and Dr. Councit know that they could do with that piece of Oranginium. We let them keep Omnidom? Okay, interesting choice. They won't abuse it unless their back is to the wall. I hope. For self-defense only. Maybe they think that way for now. But there is no such thing as a guarantee when one is in possession of power far greater than one can control. I've seen many gangs rise rapidly with the backing of the nobility, only to fall apart from the inside just as quickly. That's why Amia is going back to Kasdal with them. She will keep the Oranginium under our oversight. But you're not in a position to determine Sarkhan's destiny either. Both sides have been inflicted wounds that will not heal so easily. The young Sarkaz regent has gotten his wish. The Sarkaz are once again united by concrete hatred, and obtained an oranginium shard that belongs to them. Hatred always ends the same way. Where will you be when that time comes? Oh hey, Gawain. A golden lion walks out from behind the darkened throne and crouches by its side. Gawain, or Gawain, depending. It is like he was always here, like the reliefs around him, bearing witness to the Empire's rise and fall all in a blink of an eye. And now his dark eyes have witnessed you. Teacher, this is the first time you've shown yourself before me. No need to fear, I am neither a monster nor an illusion. I show myself now because I must. Vina has chosen a path that she had not even considered until now. She must grow, and you are in a position to help her. Rose Island is already assisting her work in Londinium. That is not what I mean. I have no intention to interfere in Victoria's destiny, whatever it may be. But you have led her towards a confrontation with the destiny of Terra itself, of which hope is hard come by. I promised one who is long gone to walk with her until the very last, but now, even my own being is no longer a certainty. We will not drag others into it, or at least try to. I know, Vina, when the day comes, she will stand with Rose Island, and you will need her. Where will you stand when that day comes? There is no need to answer. She will witness on my behalf. You, neither her follower, nor mentor, nor foe. You already realize the ties you share are one of a kind. Perhaps we can afford to wait for the chance at a fresh start, but Vina cannot. I have taught you how to survive, Vina, but I cannot teach you how to become hope. The one before you, however, can. I know what I must do. Then guide her, the one whom Vina trusts. You are the spark that lights her fire and the spring that drives her forward. Listen to this one, Vina, when you find yourself in doubt. Speaker's office, December 10th, 7:32 p.m. It's interesting, this event so far, they've really been hammering home that, like, we have a good relationship with Vina, but we've not ever seen that. Not in any of the story, really. She's been off on doing her own thing, so... Apparently, at some point before, I guess, the war, we were close. Was it before we went into the sarcophagus? Like, because we woke up, like, we didn't have a lot of time. We woke up in Turnabog, all that stuff happened. We had the journey to Londinium, which was some time. Although we had, like, the whole near light event happen, amongst other things. But at some point, we got close to Vina. What is this instrument, Vina? An engineering sample made by Rock. Says it keeps tired workers from growing drowsy. But how's that different from just taking a nap? True. Hope the timeline has been updated. It's usually pretty up to date. Does it work? Vina yawns, rubs her eyes, and continues to peruse the documents before her. No. What does wake you up, though, is responding to some 40 petitions to eliminate the traitor Misc. Have the citizens fighting over this outside calmed down? Yes. Horn brought a bunch of city guard newcomers straight out of training camp. Thank goodness it didn't get out of hand. It helped that the soldiers had families and comrades on both sides. I really don't know what the people who will support Misc are thinking. Supporting them doing what exactly? I don't, like, what is Misc doing? No surprise. It was Parliament that went back on its word first. We did have trouble with our medicine supply, and her stuff gave people hope. Only false hope, though. At first, I thought you sent the defense forces to... crack down. Using violence to suppress innocent countrymen is the most cowardly and least effective method. Why are you looking at me like that? Just feeling dumb for worrying at all. Don't tease me. I've got a long way to go before I'm used to this role. Thank goodness I have a lot of help from people I can trust. My teacher, the doctor, and you, and many others. She stretches, put down Rock's sample, and lets out a long exhalation. I would be stumbling in the dark without the intel from your informants and our Rhode Island colleagues. But Misc... Selling dangerous drugs of unknown origin, offering predatory loans, threatening the lives of the citizenry, and colluding with the Sarkaz. All the evidence lies in my drawer. All of it corroborated. She could not be allowed to run her unchecked just because some few benefited from association with her. Hollerdale, It's not just her, Delphine. No one wants to see this hard-earned peace broken again, after all we've been through. Parliament promised safety to the people. I know what must be done. Very well. An old friend has a lead on her that might interest you. By the way, I have given serious consideration to the doctor's suggestion. Once things have settled down for a bit, I'll return to Windermere and take her back certain things that have always belonged to me. How long will you be? I just noticed, like, the walls of this office are covered in graffiti. I don't know, but the doctor is right. I need what Mother left behind, if I'm to help you, even if I was reluctant at the time of her death. Thank you. It's for myself too, Victoria. Windermere, Lynn Cardine. I must see for myself which Mother cared so much about. It's the only way I can get closer to her. Maybe we'll get a Delphine Taking Back Windermere event. Sir, please allow me to still call you that. I didn't think you would come to me. Did my application go through? Oh, Walker. I've heard how Pitt and the others got you to leave the scene of the protest. I think... So that's not what you're here for? Alright. Actually, I've been listening to the radio, sir. I heard about the artillery handover to the newly recognized or reorganized defense forces under your command and the newly constructed training plate outside the city. I went to see it myself. The facilities are superb. I can even imagine myself training there. I'm sorry, Walker, but I can't approve your application to join the defense forces. Sure, if I'm not up to standard, I'll redouble my... You know your own health. Training and fighting will only make it worse. My condition is under control. I'm taking medicine. I haven't felt any pain from the rocks for a while. I'm getting better. Misc's medicine, right? We've analyzed it, and it's... Nothing more than a painkiller, I know. But that's what I need. Parliament's medicine rations are running out, aren't they? At least this makes me feel better for a while, and lets me practice wielding a crossbow with one hand. I'll pass the Defense Forces test, sir. There will be hope as long as we make it back home, no matter how bloody goddamn hard life is. That's what you told me during the defense of Chetley. We are the exemplars. We make miracles. What about life after the miracle then? Where do the exemplars go? Horn said the miracle of the previous exemplars lived on in Gaul and in the textbooks of military schools. What about us? It was a question no one needed to think about before we truly returned to Londinium. When the city broadcast announced that the city belonged to the Victorians again, the youngest girl in my group asked me, "Where do we go from here?" I said we go home. I'll go back to the slobber knocker with Hannah, Vina, and Dagda, and you get to go home too. But the girl told me, I don't have a home anymore. I only have you. Vina and the others are here. We're ought to go down. Vina? Speaker Vina, she's coming for me too, because of the protest? Did you come to keep an eye on me, sir? She came to help you because she knew Vina was coming. Same for all of us. There is no warmth in Londinium's sunset. The surveyors do not remember if it was always this way. Those who come after will not even question it. Once the Shard was the pride of this old nomadic city, now people pay careful attention not to step into its shadow. They all remember the day that terror itself descended upon its pinnacle beneath the burning red sky. Two walk side by side through the sparse crowd, the setting sun drawing long shadows behind them. Those they pass bow to them. They go back to work at hand, humming. Then may we call and savely sing, Victoria, eve thanks for our home. The refurbishment of the Shard seems to be proceeding ahead of schedule. Rhode Island helped a lot, providing medicine, taking the patients, and the engineering department has been helping with construction work in the city. The initial incident left such an impression on the people that the proposal to modify the Shard met no significant opposition. And we're cleaning up the oranginium crystal growth in the city while we're at it. But the engineers of the Self-Salvation Corps say it'll take some time for things to go back to normal. Even the mobility layer is affected. Have we confirmed the retrieval team for the Shard's core technologies? We have a preliminary list, but we're still doing background checks on some of the technicians and scholars. They have certain links, if you know what I mean. I do. The Dukes have given me a heads up. We'll turn a blind eye as long as there's no serious issue. I, for one, am hoping that they find something worthwhile in that scrap heap. It would be a good thing for Victoria. And not such a bad thing for us if they started fighting over it. Trina, Delphine. Thorn, I thought you were... I came to visit an old comrade. Don't mind me, I was just about to go and see how Bagpipe's doing with the new recruits. Horn stretches, but shows no sign of leaving. Vina sighs. Vina, you should never guess what Walker and I talked about. You remember the Davies who came with us from Shetley? Well, the wife just gave birth. I know why you're here, Morgan. Walker and the protests are a matter for Parliament. It's not something I should get involved in. I'm just here to talk about the whereabouts of Milskar. Thanks. Well, there's no need to make things difficult for Madam Speaker. I trust Parliament. I know many MPs, fine people. Parliament's not as simple as you think. There are those who would prefer to escalate the issue. But resolving the Milskar issue as soon as possible is in the best interest of everyone, including you. The soldier who charged into the city with us stood in the setting sun, suffering our interrogation. We all know that Vina can influence Parliament if she chooses to. That was a day when I truly realized that Vina had not belonged solely to the Glasgow gang for a long time. Maybe my Vina already said goodbye to us that afternoon. That day, all factories of the city came rumbling to life, and steam gushed up to the sky. I saw her golden hair flying wild in the wind, blocking the fleeting tears in her eyes. She turned towards us with a smile and said, "We're home." We're home, but things have not gone the way we expected. Does going back home mean goodbye? Will we lose Vina? The factories welcome us. There are survivors in the city. Why do you stand in our way? I'm sorry, Duke's orders. The exemplars must not act on their own until the Dukes have come to a conclusion. Why are you pointing your bow at me? Weren't we fighting side by side just a moment ago? What do we do? Is that a protest in the city? Londinium, September 28th. The city was angry. September 28th, and it was October 10th, I believe, we were on. No, December even. So it's been a few months. The troops that stood in our way, are they falling back? The factories are waking up. I thought the Solarcat had shut everything down. I remember these factories. I know where they are. I always will. That's Miles Industry on York Street, and that's Coppola Foods on Scott Street, and that's Consolidated Inc., Hankins, Southwicker Cargo. Vina, I thought they... Those that were silent, those that had been abandoned, those that had been commandeered by the Sarkaz, and those that continued to run timidly. All the city's factories came alive at the same time, but the Sarkaz hastily pulling back from the battlefield outside the city had no time to notice. The steam that gushed out was the breath of steel and machine. Factories were roaring. What's going on? They're helping us. Londinium is helping us. March on, exemplars. It's time to bring this to an end. This is Lieutenant Diane Weber of the 6th Column, 10th Infantry Regiment. Lower your weapons, soldiers, and escort the exemplars in their advance. You're defying the Dukes. Before I was a soldier, I was a Londonier. This is my home, too. Go, Siege. The fight is not yet over. We will take back what is ours. The first squad starts lowering their crossbows, and they are soon followed by others who step aside to clear a path. Exemplars forward. We're home. Keep the factories running at full speed. Keep the Sarkaz at bay just a bit longer. The Dukes want people to think that there is no Victorians left alive, justifying them sitting on their hands out there. But we'll make them hear we're still alive here. People outside the walls will know we haven't given up yet. I don't remember Percival's voice. Actually, I think it was... Thanks for the assist, Madam Catherine. You can trust our guys. Everyone has a trick or two up their sleeves. 9 and the others are working on the other factories. This whole city is about to rise up. Are you coming back, Feist? Is it on? On it is. The other factories have also been restored, just as Doctor planned. It's not just the citizens that are helping us, though. There are other people, and they call themselves Reunion. Well, well. I haven't seen the city so lively in years. I just got word that Alliance troops have cleared a path for the exemplars. That wasn't our orders. Are you happy with the test results? It seems we have underestimated the influence of a miracle. We should hasten our preparations then. Hey boss, looks like we don't have to cause a commotion anymore. They're letting the exemplars through. Pull the ambush and give a hand to the factories we captured. Tell the people in charge that the boilers keep burning until I say stop. You got it. Welcome home, Vina. Speaker's office. Back to December 10th. Speaker's office. Walker's fine. Parliament won't come down hard on him over this little thing, but tell him to stay safe. There's no telling if the people watching us might find him inconvenient to them. And how are things over there? Good. We'll find you, Allerdale.
frontline breachers have high standards. Try to
Freight
keep up.
car. Now they tell us about it. So they are unblockable. They can be attacked by enemies and drop the gears. All that.
When were the seeds of this tragedy planted?
Can your eyes keep up?
Wish I didn't scare you.
Tail like a shooting star. That's what they say.
Finally, I can limber up.
Some more friendly
Finally, I
units
can
within
limber up.
Talent 1's range, which is the 8 surrounding tiles. We'll get the SP buff on that skill.
It's the front line for me after all.
Oh, for 3 skills, I feel like skill 2 is probably the weakest one. Just based on what it does. Neighborhood Watch member, a member of an illegal organization formed by concerned citizens. When equipped, defense increases. After several attacks, charges up an attack that deals splash. Why is the Neighborhood Watch illegal?
Violence too is an effective means.
Well, that's a cool aura she has, though.
It's the front line for me after all.
Feels fresh every losing sight. Hear the roar of my chainsaw.
Concentrate. Support incoming.
Seems a little bit does true damage. Well, that's the thing. Skill 2
Finally, I can
doesn't do
limber
true
up.
damage. It's the only one that doesn't. Which is why I think it's probably the weakest one.
Surrender now.
And its wind-up time is pretty long for what it does. Other characters have the same thing: attack range +1, attack count +1. Like a bunch of other characters do that for much cheaper. You can the passive effect like fixes that technically, but Blaze's animations are interesting. It's video gamey. For like a Halloween
No
skin.
need to panic.
Mission accomplished.
Like Viviana can pretty much do the same thing, although I guess hers requires 2 uses before it's unlimited. Maybe that's like calculation wise is pretty much the same cost then. Although I believe the second use has even more buffs, though. I just got over there like this, or just go over there like this. Yeah, just go over there and ask what the price is. All right. The child approaches the merchant's stall and timidly peruses the wares. Fireworks, kid. Yeah. A special occasion, a gift. This one's real popular for celebrations. But there's a lot of dust. That's normal. It's been lying in the warehouse for a while. How about this? You buy one and I'll give you one free. What's that smell? Fire! It's you, isn't it? Oh. What are you standing around for? Run! The merchant tries to put out the fire to no avail and is soon surrounded by flames himself. This is not what I thought this was going. I thought this was going to be a drug deal. Not casual arson for some reason. The exploding fireworks draws a gawking crowd. The practical joker has long fled the scene with the child. But wasn't it supposed to be a joke? Serves him right for marrying a devil woman, that bastard. Oh, is that why? Did the firework seller marry a Sargaz? Messed up. I like how they're hiding Bagpipe as if we don't know who she is. The fire's getting bigger. I'll grab the man. You get the crowd out of here. Yes, ma'am. The pile driver's spear rips the flames apart. The sounds of explosions, crackling fire sing joyfully in cacophony. A Voivra emerges from the flames, spear in hand and the merchant in the other. Puts the merchant down in a safe place and sits beside him, wiping the soot off her face. Soot. Ah. Sorry about your stall. I think I might have... It's fine, don't worry. I gotta get Bagpipe's accent back in. I don't know why hers is always hard to do. Fine, this is fine. Points towards the raging fire, with fireworks leaping out from time to time. The gawking crowd continues to grow. A drunkard, seemingly oblivious to what is going on, pulls over an unsuspecting passerby and starts dancing. Under the setting sun is pandemonium. Drunken singing mixed with angry yelling mixed with a cackle of fireworks. This street has not been so lively since the Sarkaz took over. It is the very picture of chaos, but the merchant, who has already calmed down, begins to laugh. I haven't seen the folks so happy in a very long time. Brings back memories. But it's your store that's on fire. You know what? I'm in a good mood today, so I'll just call it a fireworks show for everyone. Okay, but like a bunch of fireworks catching fire is really dangerous, actually. I guess maybe they're very small as fireworks, I don't know. They were like bottle rockets, that could be dangerous. Between you and me, ma'am, my wife can finally leave the city tonight. No injuries, ma'am. Should we go after the troublemaker? Well, nobody got hurt. We've got the duty to handle anyone who commits an offense. Well, thank you. In any case, say, can you dance or play an instrument? What? Can't let a good fireworks go to waste, can I? Maybe my wife will hear the commotion. My way of saying goodbye. Do you not want to go with her, sir? Like, you could go with her.
I'm starting to miss wartime. Even working on the farm, anything's easier than keeping this peace business. But hey, if everyone's happy, who am I to complain?
Once she's satisfied that there is no danger, she lies down on the crate by the roadside, stretches, and lets the beams of the setting sun fall upon her face.
Give me a haystack over this any day. Where are you, Chin Chin?
Good question. I think she's in Yin? I don't know. I don't know where she's going. Why did you burn his stall? You said that you were going to snitch something. That shameless bastard's own fault for marrying a devil. On the bright side, maybe somebody's already lynched his wife. Okay, that's messed up, dude. Whoa! Who the feck are you? Oh snap. Now's your chance to run, kid. Okay. What do you want? Just doing a favor for a client. Maybe it'll bring in future business. What's the situation with this batch? Coast is clear and the head count checks out, no problem, but word on the streets is that Parliament is looking for you. Nothing they can actually do about it. Same as before, don't cause any trouble. Speaking of trouble, there's a kid in this batch that's giving us a hard time. Indignant kid. Who looks familiar, but maybe they just are reusing a model. Was that the kid from the Federico event, which his name I can never remember. Why can't I see my dad one last time before we leave? As for Milscar being the boss of the event, I think she's probably the best contender right now. There's no one else really. Happy she stayed behind with that guy while his dad went to war in Victoria. Oh, is she from the Babel event? I've seen this person somewhere. Yeah, I don't think it's the same character of anyone. This man says there's fireworks outside. It's Dad's fireworks. Oh, the guy has a kid too? Why isn't he going with them? Gosh, quiet. You don't want to leave either, do you, Mum? Sarkaz covers the girl's mouth and holds her tightly, gazing up nervously at the woman looking quietly down at her. I'm sorry, she's just not used to this. Her father never left her side even during the war. Our deal with your husband was to get you out of the city. The rest of it's not my business. If you want to stay, that's also your own decision. Ma'am, they're just scared because they've never been through anything like this. None of us have, don't worry. I'll take care of the girl. She won't cause you any trouble. But where are we going? What about Dad? He'll come find us once he's taken care of things at home. I knew this day would come. The day the people from Castle came. You don't like the military commission? Isn't Teresis your legendary hero? I'm every bit the Londinier that you are. I've never been anywhere else since I was born, and I don't know no Teresis. Your accent, that's not how commoners talk. I take it you ended up here because of the folks from Castle. Never mind. You're a good person, ma'am. No one else would come close to us at a time like this. Without you, the new parliament might have nothing to be surprised, I suppose. The bigwigs never change, whatever happens. I've seen enough in my lifetime. This new parliament's different. Maybe, but people like us, though, it all feels the same. Hey, Herb, okay. We'll see if they show Milchek again. Milchek? Milscar. The aged Sarkaz soothes the sobbing child and sighs. Don't be afraid, child. Your father is an honest man. More honest than most people I've met. He'll find you. All right, but where will you go after leaving here? I plan on visiting some old friends. They left during the withdrawal with their twins, who work out for a pharmaceutical company. Lava and Hibiscus's parents? They are from Victoria. Do you know them, ma'am? No, we have no time. You should get ready to leave. What is your name, ma'am? Oh yeah, Milscar. So, okay, so she's got a different pose. Earlier, yesterday, they had a pose where now I see it's like a crow on her shoulder, but it looked like it was like a bat in the other pose, and it was like flying in the air. I guess it's a crow thing. I wonder what that is. That's just a pet she has? Where did she like find the time to tame a bird? We will not meet again. Humor an old woman, won't ya? I just want to thank you on behalf of myself and all those who are afraid of you. I would rather not direct this gratitude to a code name that's ready to be cast aside any time. Allerdale. Beautiful name. Thank you, Allerdale. Allerdale, a name that should have been laid to rest in the mausoleum of kings. In the darkness, where even the passage of time became blurred, she had sought to die in the ruins of history, to be forgotten by all those whom she disappointed, yet she was afraid to die, afraid to be forgotten. But when muddied water dripped from the hole that the steam knight left behind and fell upon her palm, she opened her eyes and saw light. What lay at the end of the light was life and submission again. Her hesitation may have lasted 3 days or 3 minutes. In the end, she made the same choice as she once did. You will meet again, Vina, someday. She recited it over and over in her mind and crawled quietly into the light. Office of Provisional Supply Procurement, December 12th. 5:32 p.m. What do you mean the reservation with Madame Major is no longer valid and I have to get in queue again? Should we be trying to buy time for the infected who can't get medicine? I'm afraid the reservation system is under maintenance. There are a lot of files and we need to be organized following Madame Major's passing. However, we are all very busy with preparations for Madame Major's funeral. How long are we talking? It should be up and running within 7 business days. We will inform you as soon as reasonably possible. Oops, I missed that. The crucial exclamation mark. Have you been to the Center of Biological Infection Control? More and more citizens whose conditions are deteriorating rapidly are being sent there day by day. Most Londinians don't know how to handle acute oropathy attacks from before the war. The ones who need help the most are the ones getting the least of it. They can't afford to wait, not to mention the proliferation of drugs that have little actual effectiveness. Your feedback is noted. We will pass it on to the Center of Biological Infection Control. Is there anything else I can help you with? Tell me where the speaker's office is. If you would like to visit the speaker, I can assist you in making a reservation. It's Diane. No need. I know where the speaker is. Come with me, Eliseo. I apologize for the inconvenience. Please let us know if you need any other assistance, and thank you for the coffee, sir. It is a very valuable gift. Aren't you furious, Diane? This is no way for them to behave. I came to Londinium to save us. No, that's not what I mean. But it's what you think, isn't it? I mean no offense. I'm grateful that you've put a roof over my head. But I also see that there's nothing but chaos in the matter of helping the infected here. I get that it takes time to build up and improve systems and workflows. Please understand, though, that it was my job to raise such issues back in Columbia. I just want to see more regulated and effective workflow to provide help to more infected. And if I may say so, we're a little ahead on that front. I've never been to Columbia, Eliseo, and I don't know how people like us are treated back where you call home. I would love to see it if I get the chance. If the gentleman has done nothing wrong, he has done what was tasked of him. In such cases, in fact, he has done it better than any of his predecessors. Londinium has many problems, but things are getting better.
even better than before the war.
It seems you trust this new parliament.
No, but I trust the speaker. Come, I'll take her to you.
I'll take you to her. I can't read today.
How do you know where she is? I take it you Colombians aren't in the habit of listening to the broadcasts.
Well, we're more used to watching... Never mind. Where is the speaker?
At the memorial service for Madam Major.
Is Major her name? Like, everyone just calls her Madam Major. Or is Madam Major a title? I don't know. Here, there are so many people. How do we get to the speaker?
Come with me, I know a shortcut.
Through the window, Eliseo sees Vina Victoria for the first time. He has done his homework and heard legends of the young speaker during the war. He thought the speaker would be more impressive.
What?
Look at the armor. When he sees the well-dressed Arslan speaking at the podium, he feels nothing but disappointment. Vina Victoria is not nearly as splendid as he imagined. Wow. Are you lost? If you're here for the speaker, the entrance is that way, or for the service. No, it's Delphine.
Would you like a hand, Eliseo?
Oh, thank you. Hey, how did you...
I was the one who put the files on Pure Heart Medical and yourself on the speaker's table long before you arrived in Londinium.
So you know what I'm here for.
Of course.
And the speaker knows that I've been trying what I've been trying to do for the past few days?
Of course. Unfortunately, it's not that simple.
I thought the speaker would be different from the other nobles I've met.
Eliseo. It's fine. I would just like to clear up a misunderstanding. This is not Columbia, Eliseo, and it's arrogant to judge us by your standards. Sometimes we must follow the rules first in order to change things.
Not even she could do it? Inside the hall, Vina is muttering something about with a sad expression on her face, but they cannot hear what she is saying. Delphine meets Diane's gaze, and then quickly averts her eyes. Was Madam Major another victim of the rules?
No, only a respectable woman. One of those nobles you are talking about. She could have stayed in Normandy, far from danger, but she came of her own accord to the Chaos of Londinium in order to help the people here. She refused to stop working, even as her condition deteriorated, trying to help as many people as she could, just like you, Eliseo. Our conflict with her was only because of the harm that her radicalness and stubbornness were doing to herself. There are no dark secrets, no conspiracies behind her passing. She was not a victim.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. But that makes it even harder to understand. Why do you refuse to work with Pure Heart? We're just trying to solve your problems.
Are you aware that Pure Heart Medical is backed by the Colombian Department of Defense and the Maylander Foundation?
Of course. The military and the Foundation have always been our main stakeholders. We're part of the military-industrial complex.
You are a good, responsible man. Feel free to come and find me if you insist on carrying out that responsibility.
You are...
Delphine Windermere. You may call me Delphine. Looks like your company has work to do when it comes to client research.
Yeah, for a Maylander agent, he sure doesn't know a lot. He's no tin man. I'm not giving up, Lady Delphine. I believe we can help Londinium.
I can't make any promises on behalf of Vina or Parliament. I believe when I say that we want to help, we want to heal this city more than anyone else. But if you would like, you can come with me to say goodbye to Madam Major. And to all those who have died in the chaos of the past few years.
The bell of morning tolls. Foul beasts glide close to the ground, a sign of impending rain. Right now, though, nobody pays any heed. Their heads are bowed. No tears are shed. War has already spent the city of its last drop. All leads point to this place being Milskar's hideout. Why you're still taking your time?
Don't you think it's too easy? Besides, there have been rumors of unidentified Sarkaz activity here. Can't hurt to be careful.
I say it can't hurt to have an accident or two. Good exercise. Why do you think I refused to help Morgan with our stupid paperwork? You're an uptight girl to come along like this. Or upright girl, rather, although you're a little uptight too. I thought you'd shut yourself up in that tower as soon as you came back.
You really ought to be staying put in that ship, Hannah. How many times has medical reminded you about your condition?
The sound of bells echoes in the sky above the city as if everyone has gone quiet for a moment.
The memorial service has started.
Well, no time to wallow in sentiment. Let's go, Dogda. I don't want to get my arse kicked while I'm trying to wipe the tears from my eyes.
Sometimes I just don't know what to do with you, Hannah. What do we do if we run into Allerdale?
Punch her in the gut and leave the rest for Vina to worry about.
Who's there?
I'm afraid you won't find her. It's not you she wants to see. Who are you? What? It's the vampire girl. I didn't know she was in this. So soon, way sooner than I thought. Now she has a bat. Maybe it's not correct. Maybe her bat was with Allerdale. I don't know.
The Rose Riverside Canoe.
Good, good. I had no idea
Don't
you
know
were
what she
so
meant by
clever
that.
and learned. I was going to ask you help me make my atang, But with such a good head on your shoulders, I'm feeling a little bad now.
I should read these. The pride of Victoria is industrial automation, vastly improving transport efficiency between factories. Its designers traded defense for speed, trusting on Londinium's peace and stability. Not that fast. Citizens who only head into the ruins when no one is around out of a strange sense of honor. They hope to find things in the garbage dumps to tide them over through tough times. With the factory shutting down and nowhere else to go, young workers started forming gangs. Everyone wears the same goggles needed for work, pretending not to know one another or the people they rob. Member of an illegal organization. They often wear fake mustaches to appear seasoned and scare off perps without violence. Wild. Standard issue weapon components produced by Londinium's factories, not yet seen to the assembly line. Unsafe to hold before assembly, but still more threatening than empty hands. Then an issue produced by the factories, only large enough to protect one side of the body. Everyone hopes to nab a piece or two to sew them together, but before they suffer a serious blow. Often malfunctions, but better than letting the infected cast arts with their bare hands. True. Parliament's voice. I was so grateful to Allerdale, borderline reverent. Without her, the Glasgow gang in Rhodes Island would not have had, or would have had nowhere to go. Well, we saw Blaze. I want to see Papukar.
My name is Popcar. Nice to meet you.
I couldn't decide how to start the chapter on Allerdale when I decided to write one for her. I realized I knew so little about the name that should have been so familiar to me. The last Cumberland, the one who betrayed us, the one who gave her life to save us, the one who bragged about her cream stew. Milscar, Caster's minion, Cumberland the ever on high. Which one was the real Allerdale? Londinium Underground Tunnel, September 28th. We're back in time. 34 minutes until the exemplars break through the barricade. Coordinates confirmed, boss. The location and the anonymous warning message is just ahead, and we've identified the source. Rhodes Island. No surprises there. Let's go. The mercenary does not move. There is uncertainty on her face. Out with it. Boys trust ya. Without you, we would have rotted in the alleys, or the devils would have. I've already died once, so I'm fine with putting my head on the line for you. But this doesn't make any sense. Why should we trust Rhodes Island? We know nothing about them. The exemplars are almost back inside the city. It's going to be bedlam outside. We could take this opportunity to line our pockets. Or at least, you should not risk yourself being here. You're not the one. You're not the only one who thinks this way, are you? The mercenary is silent. He dares not meet Milscar's gaze, fearing her wrath. But nothing happens. Have you thought about what
will become of Londinium after this war?
Yeah, the way it used to be.
No, nothing will go back the way it used to be. No one can go back, no matter what comes of this war.
You're abandoning us?
No, I need you. Soon, Londinium will become a city in need of mending. The old order has been destroyed by death and violence. There will be plenty of gaps left behind, plenty to feed us. But I'm not asking your opinion. Listen, I don't plan on going back to the old life, which means we have to plan for a new one. I haven't forgotten about you, of course. In order to keep our livelihood, we need people to know what we are capable of. Don't say I didn't give you a choice. So, are you coming or not?
Oh, sod it. Put me up at the front of the line, boss. I'm not imagining it. Am I? What is this? The blood-red rocks and the gaps of the frame and in the furnace. Did the devils hide them here? What are they planning?
Vampire stuff.
There's a faint smell of blood in the air. She recalls the onrushing, squirming monster that came straight out of a nightmare. Boss, I found something here.
A Ducal Alliance soldier.
Something's not right. He hasn't been dead for long. The name tag, 5th Infantry Regiment, 8th Column, rank, Major.
The Earl of March's troops under the Duke of Normandy. No external wounds, but the death was not natural. Her unit should still be outside the walls. Why would a major from the unit be here?
Where did they come from? Kill them and quickly. The order must not be delayed. There are other altars that still need to be activated. There is no time. The devils have us surrounded. There's no way out. Nah, okay, see, this is the... No, so you see the crow is still on her shoulder, but that's like a bat thing that she has now. Got 2 flying animals, apparently. It feels a bit like E1 and E2. It changes forms. It can't change forms. It's right there.
Why do we need one?
Lunatic. No one knows where the Steam Knight sword in her hand came from, much less where Milscar herself came from. That's a Steam Knight sword? I didn't even realize. The mercenary's legs tremble. He regrets not turning around a few minutes ago. As long as the purple blade would not impale him from behind. Bugger all. Oh, it's Nadine. Is this... This is probably before she shows up at Lifebone, I would guess.
Huh. I know that sword. The general's briefing mentioned you. You've got nerve. Is a tin can somewhere nearby? Maybe we can kill 2 foul beasts with 1 stone. Huh. Carry on with your work. I'll handle this.
Jingle. like wind chimes on the beams of a mausoleum. Mausoleum? Caressed by a breeze, the golden pendants and gems that hang from the veil of one who slumbers sway and clang against each other in the air. Everyone, excuse me, did anyone see my earring? There you are, little garnet. Oh, it's broken. I guess I'll have to borrow your toys, Ducariel. Not like you're in any position to refuse. The blood altar within the iron frame begins to glow, but quickly goes dark. And then shatters. Their broken pendant in the air is now good as new, glowing with a faint light. The red glow is almost mesmerizing. Jingle. The sound echoes by Milscar's ear. I'm assuming this is the vampire, so. Take care of little Garnet for me for a while. She'll lead you where you belong. Now you should go. I'm surprised that anyone like Dame Cowsitt would trust you, though. She sees the red and black figure. Why would a vampire save my life? Dame Cowsitt, Dr. Cowsitt of Rose Island? What are they planning? She has many questions, but finds herself holding the cold, conical earring in her hand. There's no time to waste if you want to help that one. This is not the only altar in these parts. What do I do? She will tell you. She, Milscar, suddenly feels a pulse from the earring in her hand, like a heartbeat. Stop her. Shush. Sarkaz expletive. Dean feels all the blood in her body rush back towards her heart in a second, and the vertigo that comes with it. Oh gosh. Felt that myself. That that was disturbing to think about. For the first time, she envies the kindred who have abandoned flesh and blood. The path has been prepared. Take care of her, and she will guide you to me. September 28th, 5:21 p.m. Unknown location, I guess. 6 minutes until the exemplars break through the blockade. All vampires have that power? Yeah, vampires control blood. Although I assume it's, you know, something you have to, like, work up towards. Like, I don't imagine Closure can control blood yet, but if she tried, maybe she could. Let's go to the next one. Boss, that weird vampire thing, as we destroyed the altars, it just keeps getting prettier. We've got more important things to worry about. Word is that the exemplars have made it into the city, but they're being impeded by the Ducal Alliance troops. Have the factories gotten the order? Aye, they're getting ready.
these strange hidden Sarkaz altars, and rumors the Dukes are ready to leave the Londinium blockade and abandon it to its fate. Who's the one who actually wants to blow up the city?
Does it really matter? Oh, hi, Clovicia.
It's been a while, Allerdale. I thought you were dead. I thought you were dead. Even with Rose Island's help, there are too many of these for you to deal with, and too little time. Who knows how many such altars as the Sarkaz have hidden across the city, without my knowledge too. They could not have done it on their own. More than one key district will be reduced to rubble if these altars are activated. I've discovered and destroyed several key ones, however. By yourself? Vina needs help. The Exemplars need one final push, and the Dukes need to hear the true voice of the people. It was I who spread the rumors that the Dukes are planning to abandon Londinium. Not that there wasn't an element of truth to it.
What do you want me to do?
You're already doing it. You and those who follow you. But you too need a push. I'll take care of the remaining altars. You've changed a lot. I could say the same for you, Milskar. Are you sure you like that name? You've chosen to live, then follow the path and see where it leads.
Boss, she's...
Run like you've got all of Kazdal on your heels. Go to the outer city, and tell the others to get ready to receive the Exemplars.
Clovicia went from the leader of the Self-Salvation Corps to like this mysterious sneaking around person. The Exemplars break through the blockade across the city, factories roar to life, welcoming them home. I keep thinking back to that afternoon. Factories, Vina, steam, cheering, boxing, angry yelling, Baird. The bits of memories gush to the surface together, mixing together, wiping away what happened that afternoon. The one thing I will never forget is when Vina said, "We're home." I wanted to cry. It was a long, long journey from the day we left the city to the day we came back. We're home, but how many did we lose? How many who walked with us on this journey? And which of them could come back after they left, besides Allerdale? I miss Baird. Exemplars Camp, September 30th. 2 days after the Exemplars break through the blockade. I never knew taking inventory could be such a pain. Taking inventory at the factories on our turf back in the day wasn't half as bad. If this is pain, I'll gladly take more pain. It sure is exciting though to see so many people supporting us. We've been at this all night. Sun's already coming up. We have to push forward. The others can only buy so much time. Word from Wishadel is that they threw a dozen wrenches into the military commission's system of command, but the Noxahirs are still guarding Westhalig. We've been inside the city for 2 days, but there has been little sign of movement from them. Weren't there rumors that Teresa's has abandoned them and gone into hiding? Maybe that's why the Noxahirs aren't moving. Oh, really? Teresa's... Skipped town?
That's just speculation. Not even the doctor's team has been able to confirm it.
But that means we didn't fight Teresa's. Interesting.
Get some rest, Morgan. The Alliance's order to attack will come soon.
I just don't like counting, that's all. I want to help Dagda. I reckon I've got a lot more experience sweet-talking people into helping us. Delphine is persuading the nobles who are still on the fence. Hannah and Catherine are organizing the surviving workers in the Self-Salvation Corps. I have no doubt they can get it done. But Dagda, she's not really the temperament for this.
Go help her.
Yeah.
Let's continue. Supplies from Heidi. Improvised weaponry from the Self-Salvation Corps.
Huh.
What's this at the bottom? It's not on the list.
She looks around and sees only exemplars transporting supplies. She recognizes all their faces. She carefully examines the box. After being satisfied that there is no threat, she opens it. She is struck dumb by what she sees. The armor was in the box. It is a set of clothing. The cool rays of the morning sun shines upon an emblem. The emblem of House Victoria, her house. Vina feels a bout of anger. Is this some kind of sick joke? Wait, no. She recognizes the outfit in her hands. It belonged to the Victorian royal family. Why is it here? Who found it and delivered it to her? She can only come to one conclusion. A single name.
Let's go. It's time.
What's the situation, boss?
Their equipment is inferior to the Alliance's. The Dukes are having the exemplars take the brunt of the fighting. Casualties will be heavy. But there's also an opportunity. The Dukes want a hero. The people need a hero. Why not add a finishing touch to the story?
You're betting on them to win?
Bet. No. The bets are already made and the battle outside the walls ended. This is just the last chance to double down.
No idea that's how that works, but whatever you say, what's next?
We kill. There'll be chaos once the final battle begins, and opportunists too. I'm not about to let them do whatever they want right under my nose.
Say, boss, what was that thing you left behind?
A little stage prop, to get some more substance to the legend.
Garment of the royal house retrieved from the ruins of Cumberland Manor. The leader of the exemplars can make good use of it. Don't you like the story? The last heir to the throne returns to drive out the devils garbed in the king's regalia. I heard that she didn't like the title. She'll need it if she wants to sway those who are still uncertain. For now, at least. Is she alive? Vina has had a little wish ever since the day that Steam Knight returned. Perhaps those around her had the same, but no one spoke of it. He looks around nervously, but does not see her. If anything, that is a relief. She's not ready. A note. Tailored to your size. Hope it fits. There is no name on the note, but for the first time she knows that Allerdale is still alive. There's something else. A few photos with the following words scribbled on the back. Something you might find interesting concerning a certain duke. Like, Aladale was helping.
Recon, strategize, deploy.
But
then
now she's like the
siege.
enemy, quote unquote. But I guess only because she's helping Sarkaz escape. And because she's giving infected fake drugs, which is pretty messed up. Not sure why she's doing that. I mean, I guess she's doing that because it's better than, I guess, having no drugs, but she's also exploiting them.
I want to stop this fight.
A solo. To you.
Oh, that guy's tough.
Stay calm. I'll hear you.
You got him. Don't move.
I guess Paprikar is only like 3-star, so her skill isn't that fancy, but I don't know if that's worth 18 Oranginium. Like, technically it's not a new animation. It's a good skin.
The concert may begin at any time. Mission accomplished.
Parliament, December 15th. I brought the Defense Force's files that were requested. Madam Speaker, since the establishment of the patrols, we have received no fewer than 200 requests for assistance involving Misc and her followers. There is concrete evidence of the violation of Parliament's newly enacted laws. What are we waiting for? They're getting in the way of honest people doing honest work. Give the order. Put their heads on pikes outside of the Sinselda. Feist, Rock have already reported the situation to me. I want the rebuilding to progress smoothly as much as you do. But that's not how Parliament works. Go ahead, Viscount Elsa. Milscar's behavior is certainly questionable, but their medicine has at least provided consolation to those suffering the current shortage, if nothing else. Balderdash! They're exacting payment in lives. Sit down, Lord Allen. You're in Parliament. They are using underground facilities, relics from the war, to evade our pursuit, Viscount Elsa. They've been decentralizing their operations, of course. But there is also evidence indicating that someone associated with Parliament is helping them. I believe we need an explanation for that, don't we? Are the Londinium Self-Defense Forces requesting our assistance with this investigation, Lieutenant Scarmandros? We are, of course, eager to help the citizens face the Milscar threat. I would contact Her Grace the Duke of Castor to arrange for personnel to be deployed to Londinium. It is much reassuring to hear that Her Grace the Duke of Castor has, at long last, deigned to generously offer her valuable assistance to Parliament, Viscount Elsa. I am very curious as to what if the other dukes will do the same. Baron Hector, Viscount Gideon, Dr. Herman, and the academician Erwin, may I trust you to pass the message to the other dukes, should you by chance have the opportunity to communicate with them. Startled, the members whose names are called, who have been keeping a low profile in the room, are left with little choice but to smile and bow to Vina. There is no affirmation or denial, but the argument in the chamber has evaporated, as though it never existed to begin with. A special provision court will be convened of the members of Parliament to deal with the Milscar issue. Milscar will, of course, be granted the opportunity to present her defense. There is whispering among the seats. No objections. Seems like they're a unicameral parliament. Thinking about that. Which I guess makes sense for like a provisional sort of reintroduction, but it is a bit surprising. Will she show up for the trial, though? If she does not appear, she will forfeit her right to a defense, and the court shall pass judgment in a fair and just manner. Horn, kindly instruct patrols to take Milscar into custody and bring her to the parliamentary chamber. Prior to Parliament's recess today, she has 2 hours. I'll wait for her here. You should wait in your office, get some rest. You don't look too well. I'll let you know if she comes. I said I'll wait here. Right then. Sorry, I'm just... I know. I don't understand. There are so many things that are much more urgent, infected, in need of treatment, shortages of supplies, rebuilding a city, restoring order. My desk is in a constant is constantly covered in important matters that require my attention. They would rather spend an entire day bickering over something that they don't even disagree about. I'm not doing a good enough job.
I remember that I promised you she would not get away. If you give my people, then Defense Forces free reign to search for her.
We're short-handed. Trying to solve the problem this way means ignoring other more urgent problems in the city.
Then why do you think you're not doing a good enough job? Don't try to carry a nomadic city on your back. That's what the tracks underneath it are for. You don't have to become the perfect leader that they talk about, for whom solving every single problem is taken for granted. Besides, from Milscar to the protests to the medicine shortage, the shadows of the Dukes loom large over these recent affairs.
There is no doubt that Castor is behind the Milscar matter, but something has to give. Milscar has gone too far.
Catching her is no easy task, though. Indra and Dagda say she is associated with a strange vampire.
Delphine, she doesn't show.
Do you want her to, Vina?
Milscar Hideout, December 15th, 5:17 p.m. Why are you blindfolding me? I pay my husband's bill. Yes, ma'am, you're an honest woman. You have paid the bill of Micah Robinson. The boss sends her condolences. Your husband made many contributions to the city. Can I go now? Of course, once you've paid your other debt, that is. 2 contracts, one signed by her husband and the one you just paid. Another signed by you on behalf of your husband. But he's gone. He's gone, but the medicine isn't. Here. Do take it. Now, let's talk about your bill. We accept credit, of course. We don't. Oh, boss, since when we don't... Just now. Take her to get some rest. In quotation marks, which sounds ominous. Alright, and then... Send her to the Sinselda. The honorable MPs are waiting for me, aren't they? Parliamentary chamber.
Out of the way, let the doctors work. We've identified the victim, Vina. One Mrs. Lawrence of Norport.
Oh snap, so yeah, they... Take her to rest was ominous. Milscar, what are you doing?
Are the injuries life-threatening? No, the vital organs were unharmed. She's just lost a lot of blood. The Milscar's people did it. But rumors are beginning to spread, and that's not a good thing. Her husband, Mikey Robinson, recently passed away from an acute oropathy after being unable to get proper treatment.
He was one of the exemplars who came home with us. This is her answer. Escort Miss Lawrence to the Defense Forces medical camp, Delphine.
What about you?
2 more minutes. I'll keep the word of the Provisional Court and my own. At Delphine's behest, several MPs carefully carry the unconscious woman out of the parliamentary chamber. The carpet on the floor, which has only recently been replaced, is soaked in her blood. It was the Sarkaz who had bled here 2 months ago. There is order on the floor again. 1 more minute. There is no one except 2 black feathers that seem to be staring at Vina. Are they just floating there? They fell from the unconscious woman. Oh, okay. As the group carrying her walked past, they were swept up into the air, only to slowly drift down. That is the place where she should have stood. The clock strikes 6. It is time, esteemed members of Parliament, as Milskar has forfeited her right to a defense. In accordance with the law, I, Vina Victoria, Speaker of the Parliament of Londinium, pronounce a special warrant is hereby issued for the arrest of Milskar, dead or alive. Defense Force patrols are to apprehend Milskar personnel by any means necessary. Effective immediately. Also, issue a citywide announcement that Parliament will accelerate the enactment of the City Safety Act. On behalf of Parliament, I vow to the citizens of Londinium that the curfew will be fully lifted within a month, when the reorganization of the police force is complete. The Provisional Court will complete the necessary personnel movement and additions within 2 months, at which point it will be renamed the Londinium City Court. The court will continue to process backloaded cases concerning public safety following the conclusion of the war. Parliament and I will ensure that everyone is treated in a fair and just manner, regardless of any privileges that one may have enjoyed for whatever reason. All shall stand equal before the law. What kind of leader do you want to be, Vina? I don't know, Doctor. But I should at least know what is right and what is wrong, no? Sometimes right and wrong depend entirely on where you stand. Then what should I do? Accept those who despise you, for they will keep you vigilant. Stay true to what you believe in to help you triumph over solitude. Yeah, I mean, both are pretty good, I suppose. I learned that from a friend who recently left us. What friend? Backpipe reporting in. Oh, Backpipe reporting in. And again, her voice. I don't know why.
Backpack reporting in. Sweep complete in T1, or T11 and T32. No sign of Milskar. How's things over there? No sign of Milskar in C...
No sign of Milskar in C11 to C20, ma'am. What about L10? No reports yet? Reynolds, is there a situation? I'm here. There's nobody here in L10. His gaze alternates between the purple blade from before him and Milskar imploring for mercy. Milskar nods. I'm coming back now.
Did you find anything useful?
No, nothing at all. Purple blade is lowered. He slowly backs off.
Alright, keep up at the rendezvous point.
I'll be there in a minute. leave the communicator. Okay. He keeps his eyes on Milscar in the shadows. Once he is sure that she is not going to kill him, he drops the communicator and flees for his life. Cavendish Street. 9:58. So quiet. I prefer the underground. At least the sound there doesn't make me feel... Parliament has yet to lift the post-war curfew. They are trying to protect people from people like her. The communicator that she just obtained continues to supply the latest news about the patrols. Milscar strolls past the shops by the roadside. He hears a faint sound of radio from one of them and stops before the dimly lit storefront. What do you think about Madam Speaker's announcement that the curfew will be lifted in stages as law and order are restored, Hans? Considering the current pace at which the police and courts are being reorganized, a joke if you ask me. Who's arresting whom and who's judging whom? You don't trust Parliament? Many citizens sleep sounder in their beds knowing that Parliament has been hard at work rooting out the remaining duels over the past 2 months. Today's sweep of the underground insurgents has been particularly effective, eliminating another long-term threat to public safety. In the span of 3 hours, we have received thousands of messages from citizens expressing their gratitude to Parliament, in particular to our honorable, dare I say majestic even, Madam Speaker. I do not deny that she has been a decisive leader up until now. How long do you think she can keep it up, though? I bet you £10 that in 3 months, you wouldn't be able to tell her from those fat, filthy, lying nobles. Huh. A lavish car stops next to her. The door opens. There is only the driver and a set of familiar clothing. She recognizes the emblem of House Cumberland. You're alive, Your Grace. The Duke is willing to recognize your value. She is giving you a chance to come back. Tell her that Cumberland has died. And one who has already died once is not afraid to die again. The door closes and the car leaves, disappearing at the end of the street. Bloody hell. Looks like it's not just you who wants to kill me, Vina. You'd better hurry. She walks silently in the shadows by the side of the street, disappearing into the night. At least there'll be more people who believe that you can give them that utmost precious, most valuable thing right now. Safety. I hope you will like my final gift to you, Alexandrina. After this, we're even. Morale was high before our attack on the Noxahir position at the Palace of Westalig. Couldn't say the same about the people in the city, though. They had lived for so long under Sarkaz's rule that they could hardly even conceive of resistance. Dogda and I found it difficult to persuade able-bodied citizens to join us, until Vina showed up. She was wearing an outfit I never thought I would see her in, an outfit for a king. She never said who gave it to her, but we could all guess the answer. Allerdale. I was dumbfounded. I looked at Dogda and saw her fighting to contain her trembling. I saw the frenzied crowd rush through the streets and alleys, scrambling over one another to join us. They carried Vina further and further away from me. Her Royal Highness Alexandrina has returned. She'll lead her people to drive out the Sarkaz and take back our home. Cavendish Street, September 30th. I thought you'd reject my proposal. The important thing is to win this final battle. Everything else is secondary. The Scion Cumberland that lives? I hope so. She deserves a second chance no matter what. What about you? Do you understand the significance of donning that garment? I do. But I always had a choice, didn't I? Vina walks through the crowd, escorted by Delphine, Everyone bows to her in reverence. This is hard to take, though. Huh. She thought she saw a certain figure in the crowd, drowned out by the onrushing soldiers and citizens.
What is it?
Nothing. Let's get the troops in order. It's time to put an end to this. You and your friends will win, Vina. The present I left you, the garb that always belonged to you, is merely icing on the cake of your final victory. There is no place for me by her side when victory comes. This is the choice that I made. But the end of this absurd war is simply the beginning of your story, and you remain the ever-victorious legend when it comes time. Victoria is not easily changed by anyone, not even you. But perhaps I would truly have believed. Goodbye, Vina. Goodbye.
Over already? Your victory doesn't need to be embellished by my music. I'd much rather perform for you a piece inspired by that cloud passing overhead.
I like how the Duke of Castor just found Allerdale immediately on the street. Everyone else has been looking for her for 2 months. So, alcohol and placebo. I could almost say I was moved by Vina's speech. The rest of the exemplars certainly were. They would have carried her straight to the gates of the Londinium if they could.
I'll cooperate at all times.
And use Delphine. Why not? She is here. Actually, before we begin this next level, I'm going to quickly get some more water. Be right back. Alright. Alright. Switch to skill 3 on Vina. Oh.
I fight alongside you once again, Doctor, with a sword that's not just for show.
Ten Pints Pub, December 21st. 5:05. This is... Good job, Madam Speaker, I say. Rip up every tile in the Millennium and root out the devil scum hiding under them. I hear there's gonna be a shipment of oropathy meds coming in. I got a friend at the procurement office. Maybe he can get some meds first. Get me some meds first, and I'll see if I can get you some. Cheers! You were strutting all day when you got into the Duke's army, and then you went to the Exemplars, and now here you are after the end of the war, just like me. Too infected with nothing left. Who you calling infected? I can fight, I'm not like you. I'm not afraid to die, vomits. The other patrons look up at the staggering soldier. A coin flies across his face and lands on the bar counter. A haggard figure grabs him by the shoulder. Oh, it's Shearer. He's drunk. Take him home. I've got the bill. Don't mind what they said, madam. He's just telling the truth, Lieutenant. I'm retired, too, but suit yourself. Well, sure. As for your question, it doesn't matter. If I was talking to one of whose name's on the warrant or reunion or anybody else. The workers want to do something for our home. I just can't stand by and watch everything get worse. Extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. That's how things have always been for us. Just friendly advice. I've seen what medicine from dubious sources can do. I watched a soldier collapse into his drink a couple of days ago. I performed emergency surgery on him during the war. That time he survived, but this time it was the last checkup he ever got. You're a kind soul. The apothecary at my neighborhood says he can't remember how many came to him for poison during the war. I don't remember everyone I've ever treated, of course. I've seen much worse in my time as a field medic, but at least I get to see those who walk out of the field hospital again. Spend enough time drinking here and you begin to recognize the faces in the crowd that you've seen before, even if it was only once. I know some doctors. The Rhode Islanders. maybe you'll need their help. You forget that I'm a physician myself. What do you think of the exemplars? You're asking a lot, getting an old burning beast to remember something that long ago. It's ancient history. Even for me. All I remember is that decades ago, when kids would brag about this and that, they wouldn't be tossing around the name of dukes. It was the exemplars. There were lots of heroes, lots of them lost. So, no, what I mean is, I know what you mean, or what you wanted to hear, but I don't have anything else for you. Sorry. Most people in the new exemplars aren't soldiers. Can't compare them to the old ones. We didn't start celebrating here in the city when the old dukes defeated the Sarkaz. That's the end of it. The walls were on fire, and unarmed Londoners trapped inside the Sarkaz. Nobody knew if the dukes would spend the next 2 months talking before they entered the city. Nobody knew what would become of us. It was the exemplars who came. No one can take away what you did, not in Londinium at least. Catherine pauses. She notices the officer's hand trembling in the dim light of the tavern. He reaches into his pouch, trying to find something, but finally sighs and takes a big swig from his mug. These days, the only contribution most of us make is to the business of the city's drinking establishments. Thankfully, the kindly owner here doesn't throw out loitering junkets. After all, most of those who fought tooth and nail to get back home no longer have homes at all. A hard-won victory. Shearer raises his mug, but Catherine does not do the same. I'm afraid you found the wrong drinking partner. I have an appointment to keep, and I intend to be sober for it. You're drunk, medic. Leave the alcohol to your later days. I've heard the rumors about the exemplars. Why don't you talk to the speaker directly? Catherine gets up, goes around the other patrons, nods at the owner behind the counter, and disappears behind a door in the corner obscured by boxes. What makes you think I haven't? He looks in the direction where Catherine went. It leads to a forgotten corner of the city. The Defense Force patrols went in many times, never found anything. None of my business. He waves the proprietor over for another drink. When is this again? December 21st. So, Vina does remove the armor, apparently, okay. She doesn't wear it 24/7. Lieutenant Scherer sent 2 messages. I asked the messenger, and both came from this underground pub. But Delphine said She made arrangements for all the surviving soldiers of Duke Windermere's ship. Are you sure we don't want to check out the street that Delphine talked about first? No, let's go in. I followed behind Vina and let her open the door because I was still used to kicking them in. The Glasgow gang never ever caused trouble in Ochterrig Borough. Vina said we were just getting a drink with some old exemplar friends, but I knew there was a lot on her mind. She had made arrangements to stop some factories and ration the refined Oranginian reserves for the winter. But the word exemplars was always there at the bottom of her memo, our old friends. Deal. You're gonna answer my questions frankly and truthfully, right? As long as you beat me at arm wrestling. Ugh. He's a cake. Huh. I figured my injury wouldn't be a problem. I know what you wanted to ask. Will she disband the exemplars? Honestly, I don't know. The stuff she's thinking about has been getting more and more complicated, and I've given up on trying to figure it out. My guess is no. She even came to see us in the clothes that she wore when we fought together. If that's not sending a message, I don't know what is. And I feel like she will, but she shouldn't, I think. It would be good to have a separate fighting force from the main military. And all the dukes. Who have their own militaries, so like, you know. The dukes get them, why can't we? The people. Didn't she say she didn't want to draw too much attention? That's what's in the books. You wouldn't get it. What you see here is no exception. Many exemplars are suffering from their lingering war wounds. With medicine in short supply, alcohol represents one of the few sources of comfort available to them. While some are here for information, most are here all day and night because they simply have nowhere else to go. Is this why you wrote to me? Stand up for them? No. I see you have not read my letters. I'm sorry, there's just been so much going on. You used to be more straight and forthcoming, Madam Speaker. If you think the exemplars are calling for you to pay more attention to veterans' welfare, I can tell you that you're wrong. They're waiting for your next order. Huh. Everyone I've talked to for the past 2 months believes that Siege has grown since becoming Speaker, that she's getting even better as a leader. And the question they ask the most is, where do we go next? Are you telling me to continue to send them out to die and bleed, instead of trying to make a better life for them? You never truly saw yourself as their leader. You saw them as equals, as comrades in arms. I respect you for that, but it's also where you have failed in your responsibilities. Forgive my frankness, but for many of them, what's left of their lives will never know a greater happiness than the taste of victory they enjoyed as the exemplars. He grabs his mug and tries to take a swig, but it slips from his hands and falls to the ground. The others look towards Shearer, whose eyes are red as he takes deep breaths, trying to keep himself under control. He takes out a coin, puts it on the table, and raises his hand at the proprietor without looking at him. On his part, the proprietor simply goes back to cleaning up the mess without batting an eyelid. One more of the same, please. Where were we, Madam Speaker? I never got along well with Lieutenant Shearer. For a long time, Venus' fist knocking him dizzy had cemented my impression of him. A field medic, stubborn but largely calm and dependable. His surgeon's hands brought many back from the brink of death. Why? Lingering effects of an injury. It was one hell of a battle, wasn't it? It wasn't his hand that was injured, I remember it well. He sat straight and tall. I thought he had recovered with Delphine's help. As he said, though, it was one hell of a battle we fought to return to Londinium. At the city walls, September 25th, 3:03 a.m. Any news about the situation in the city?
Unclear. As of yesterday, the Military Commission still had a heavy presence in important areas. With the Royal Court elites deployed around the walls in a standoff with the Dukes, however, the resistance within the city stands a better chance.
The siege has gone on for 10 days already. When are the Dukes gonna charge?
If the priority is to minimize casualties among the Allied forces, then besieging the city is the best way, particularly with the Duke of Wellington's position still uncertain.
But they're playing with the lives of innocent civilians. If this drags out much longer... Are they really okay with taking over an empty city? If the truth about the situation here gets out.
Nothing gets out. They will not allow anything to happen out of their control. People often underestimate the Dukes, but the truth is they have never changed.
Just like how they treated the Steam Knights.
It's only one example. I can't say I know all of them well. I knew my own mother. Ethics is the first thing to go out the window when dealing with the matters of shared interest. The focus had already shifted to how to retrieve the shard tech at the joint staff meeting last night.
So they've already accepted the outcome.
Doctor.
I need a squad, Siege. I'm going to try that Confessarius passage that Shining shadowed us again. I'll be back, Vina, I promise. Go. You're just gonna let her go like that? I'm keeping an eye on you, Doctor. Now's not the time to play the hero. Well, you better fall behind then, Hana. Delphine, any updates from Feist and Rock?
They've reached the backup access port from when the wall first was built, but they can't find any opportunity to get close with all the Sarkaz patrols. The Doctor's team is trying to give us an opening. One feigned attack is all that it takes to create an opening, but...
The Alliance doesn't plan to attack at all.
Correct.
Delphine, can you guarantee that you'll find a way inside if there is a gap in the Sarkaz lines?
Yes, but I need help. We can try to persuade the Dukes again.
Vina shakes her head. Give me 2 hours. I'll pull a squad with decent art skills and some battle drones. We'll feign an attack on the access port at N12 to draw their attention. You take the rest of them.
No, you'll be going to your death.
Shetley, Brentwood, the Gloriana, Silver Rock Bluffs. We're going to our deaths each and every time. But somebody has to do it. I'm with you, Vina. There's no answer from Vina. Morgan notices a strange look on her face. Vina. Urgent message from the doctor.
Lotiony just went into the Wellington encampment.
Lotiony.
Who's Lotiony?
So now Reed is making her play. Okay. There were many things on the battlefield that I didn't understand. Calm and storm, victory and defeat. Everything happened so fast. After the Alliance had besieged the city for 10 days, the Gastrel, which had long departed the Ducal Alliance camp, suddenly moved into the heart of the Allied position. For the first time in a very long time, those who were listening to the Alliance comms channel heard the voice of the old Duke. The Gastrel shall restore the Empire's glory. Guns went a-blazing. Broadsides fired straight at our city walls. Did Reed convince Wellington to help out?
Tell the people behind us, no delay through the trenches. The bulk of the Sarkaz force are being tied up at the front, but that doesn't mean we have all day.
Sir, there's a lot of equipment in the camp that we need time to...
There is no time. We can't deal with the equipment issue once we get back into the city.
Some of the wounded can't walk on their own. We'll need to carry them by stretcher.
You follow the path that Siege has cleared for us. I'll organize the transfer of the wounded. Now go!
Will help, sir. I'm more familiar with the situation of individual patients. Plus, I promised them I wouldn't leave them behind.
Grab your own share of a suppressant and protective gear from the patient supplies. Better than nothing, at least. Closer we get to the walls, the higher the atmospheric oranginium particle density. The wounded will be in more danger than us.
Yes, sir. They say you're not a Londoner, sir. Why would you risk your own neck like this? Because he's a hero. Look, another battleship is covering fire for the Gastrel.
The Duke of Castor.
Weren't they saying the Duke of Wellington betrayed us and fell out with the Duke of Castor?
Shit.
Contact his liege. We have sighted a small force of Victorians. Request permission to engage. Get them. Let leave survivors. Find out what their objective is. What happened to the clouds?
Fire.
So Lotiony met with Wellington and convinced him and Eblana to come back, I guess. Pretty cool. The sky lights up with the fire of the city walls. The first wave of purple flames came from the bow of the Gastrel, gushing towards the walls of Londinium again and again, like the cold waves of death that splashed against the sheer cliffs of Iberia. What a metaphor. It fell upon the Naxahirs before Shearer, burning away the rot. Londinium's walls are alight, ignited by Draco fire. The Sarkaz defenders became kindling for the purple inferno. They're dead.
Careful. The fires clear a path, but it's a threat to us too.
In the distance, he sees the figure on the withered throne fade in and out of the purple flames, gunfire from the ships roaring beside it. On the walls, death ignites death. Beneath the walls, the living walk amongst the ashes of the dead.
This is a war that will shock all the core nations. It is not the number of casualties that will interest them the most,
But how many people on both sides are actually fighting for the city of Londinium itself? It's a long way home for you.
Never mind the use of force. Death has its own resting place.
I missed the transport vessel. Some kind of drone.
A new challenge. Feels fresh. Ah, losing sight.
Oh, it's a strong
Let
drone.
me create a diversion.
Really strong.
Feels fresh. Every tail like a shooting star. That's what they say.
Wish I didn't scare you. Finally, I can limber up.
Deploying.
Finally, I can limber. Negotiations are useless here.
Apple pie.
It's the front line for me after all.
Feels fresh. Feels bad to lose your target, doesn't it?
My sword will respond the instant I spot the movement.
Heaven blue.
Mission accomplished.
Lieutenant! Lieutenant Shearer, wake up! He sees a pair of hands reaching out towards him. Lady Delphine.
Don't move. I'll carry you. We need to get back to the forward position that we captured. We have to move before Sarkaz arrive and fill this place with witchcraft bombs.
Thank you. Saving my life.
No need. It was the brave soldier nurse Sarah who saved your life. She used her art to protect you and the other wounded soldiers from the witchcraft bomb, despite her limited experience.
Nice. It was her. Wait, did she?
Don't worry, she just passed out. We can take her We've taken her to the forward position at the access port. But you've all been exposed to high oranginium environments for too long.
I knew the risks. You succeeded in reaching the access port.
Yes. I saw fire.
Oh, I saw fire on the wall. It's out. Is the battle for the walls over?
No, it's only just begun. The Noxa here is locked in a standoff with the Ducal Alliance, relying on the city's defensive artillery and elite troops.
Is there anything we can do?
Break through the access port, create a gap in the wall, and reveal the weakness in the Sarkaz lines. Just like the Alliance helped us, even if they didn't mean to.
Understood.
Lieutenant Shira, you are dismissed from this operation. That is an order.
Does that come from Siege?
It comes from me. Stand by at the forward position. You need to rest.
Exemplar's forward position, city wall access port. 8:21 a.m. Then we may call and savely sing. May the vast lands they keep o'er our king, his people and ally his well-willing, or all his well. I feel like I should say ally, but I guess it's all. I don't know. And give them grace without ending. Why aren't you singing? Cheer up, man. You know, we're all hurt. We're almost home. May we call and savely sing. Victoria, you thinks are our home. Victoria, you thanks for our home. Here, you can have the rest of the ration. Couldn't finish it. It's our first breakfast since we came back home. Gotta fill up. Once the rest of the men take it to the city, we'll show those devils who really runs Londinium.
I don't like that song. What about you, Vina?
Don't ask her. She hums it in her sleep.
Hannah. Shut your gob and eat up, Indra. Or I'll take it. If you don't want it, I'll lead the assault since you got hurt attacking the Confessarius passage.
Not a chance, it's just a scratch. A little scratch won't dull my fists. You're not getting ahead of me this time, Doctor.
Huh. I'll do another round of patrol and scout ahead once more. Make sure there's no mistake. Military Commission set up defenses at this backup access port, which should only have been known to the workers who built the wall. This means they know the city much better than we expected.
I'm back from patrol, Lady Delphine. Oh, it's Cheer. Spare ration? I haven't had breakfast yet.
Lieutenant, I thought you were recovering from your injuries.
I'm a medic. I know how to restore a soldier to combat effectiveness as quickly as possible. I understand my own body, Lady Delphine. I'm ready to return to duty.
Giving your protective equipment to the wounded, getting exposed to high oranginium environments, and being in close proximity to a witchcraft bomb explosion, you know exactly what all this means, Lieutenant. I do. A blood test is not possible right now, but I understand the pathological progress of infection. What about it? Is that not normal in this place? He looks around. The exemplars are crowded around the narrow passage. The dust and oranginium particles that cover their faces have not diminished the fire in their eyes at all. They know what they are doing. They know the price they will pay. But they are singing. But how did the main characters not get infected ever? Singing with joyous grace. Delphine, do you give the lieutenant permission to return to duty? Delphine can see the painkiller injector that Shearer is trying to hide behind his back. Without sufficient access to oropathy suppressants, painkillers are the next best thing to do with the suffering brought on by oropathy. Will you pull through? Of course, Lady Delphine. Never forget, I still have to see you go home and take back what's yours. You don't need to do this. Neither do you. You want to witness what this ragtag team can achieve? What will come of this city? So do I. Very well, Lieutenant. Back to your post.
What will Londinium be once we drive out the devils, Vina?
Better than before, at least.
You know what I'd like to see? More flower shops. Making the flowers cheaper. Making it easier for me to find a girl to marry. Maybe a wealthy young woman. Or a widow who lost her husband. I want more oranginium fuel for a warmer winter. I want more police stations, and I want to become a cop. I want to give, not take. What about you? I hope Mum's still waiting for me back home. Ha, don't worry, she'll be there to open the door for you. What about you, Doctor? You're gonna stick with us to get You're gonna stick with us to get the gym back in business, or will you lock yourself away in your tower?
You and I, we've got a score to settle, Hannah. Let's go back to the gym together, Vina. Yes, we will. We haven't found Baird yet.
One more step until we're home. That one step took us 3 days. We were welcomed by steam gushing from the factories, reaching into the clouds. But many didn't live to see it. They walked into the tunnel singing and never came out again. Secretly alive. Baird is not secretly alive. We watched her bleed out on the street. You have one on me, Vina. The devils ran, but they're not dead yet. They still have that tech that filled the city with oranginium dust. They'll be back, mark my words. And can you bet those dukes won't give a shit about us when something happens again? Like you said, we need to defend ourselves. That's why I don't believe the rumors that say the exemplars are getting disbanded, right, Vina?
Do you remember the wishes we made at the access port? For the factory boilers to burn bright as they used to, for the guns on Londinium's walls to defend her as they used to, for the doors of the police stations to be wide open to all, and for the police to defy the noble's will and treat the infected with fairness and justice. For the law of Parliament to be the only rule. That's what I hope to see, and what I'm trying to bring about. Are you happy with Londinium now? Has she gotten better? I can tell you that I'm not happy. You're dodging the question, Madam Speaker. If you choose to do nothing and keep the status quo of the exemplars, that's entirely fine with everyone. All they want is an answer. Will the exemplars continue to exist? This is my answer, Lieutenant. What Parliament fears is your trust in me personally, that runs deeper than your trust in Parliament itself. Perhaps they fear that the exemplars will become the private army of Vina Victoria. What will become of the glory and honor of the exemplars when that day comes? Will the day come when our wishes are come true? Thank you. I will inform Parliament of what I learned today. It's on my place to give an answer over the heads of Parliament. Let's go, Morgan. Morgan. You go first, Vina. I'll have a couple of rounds with the guy's hair. Sure. I didn't understand what Vina said that day, but I agreed with the lieutenant. Our exemplar comrades needed our help. That's why I needed to stay on Vina's behalf, at least to talk to them. Even though she was a speaker, and there was so much she could do. For the first time since the war ended, I drank until I passed out. It burned my belly. It was Hannah who found me, and I asked her the question that I could never ask Vina. When can we go home? Back to our gym? The herbs are growing well. Diane would be glad. When the farm was rebuilt, it was she who persuaded the engineers to leave behind the damaged lighting equipment and refit it for small greenhouses that didn't draw so much power. Sorry, remind me, where were we? We were talking about your condition. You mentioned that you noticed a significant increase in strength of your Oranginium arts. Yes, sorry. I'm finding it hard to remember things lately. Keep getting distracted. The doctor says Oranginium has made its way into my brain. Don't tell me I've told you this before, too. We're just chatting. You can say anything you want. Anything else that doesn't feel right. Difficulty walking straight. It's happening a lot of people, though. Ataxia. It's a common symptom with many infected in Londinium, but I'm not sure what the cause is. When I'm by myself, I've been trying to... It's strange. My Oranginium art seems to be changing. Changing? I don't have any other reports of... Never mind. Please continue, Sarah. Are you casting with your bare hands, by the way? The doctors may have told you this already, but that's detrimental to keeping your condition under control. Yeah, you're a worrier, alright. Just like Diane said. I just can't help it. It's how I search for the war memories in my clouded mind. The battle for the walls. You said you were a nurse, and you were trying to stop a witchcraft bomb explosion with your arts, but it didn't work out too well. Yes, I remember I was behind Lieutenant Shearer, and the blast threw me off my feet. The next thing I remember, I was in the field hospital lying next to the other acute infected. I don't know how many witchcraft bombs fell upon the exemplars. So many fates turned on their heads in an instant, but I didn't see any of it, and I don't remember any of it. How could things be like this? Sarah. The patient is trembling and begins to cast Oranginium arts without realizing it. Eliseo does not know if this is a symptom of post-traumatic stress, but he quickly attempts to direct her attention elsewhere.
Listen to me, Sarah. Take a deep breath. Can you smell the flowers? You're in the sanatorium. The war is over. The exemplars are home. You're back in Londinium. He pauses and looks up at the damaged lighting above his head. A strange and unfamiliar city, one that to his eyes, is not far off from a pile of rubble. You're in a place where everything will get better. The alteration of Sarah's oranginium arts is a symptom that has never been observed in other infected. I should ask my colleagues to keep an eye out. I wonder if Diane could get me in touch with an international messenger. Waiting for Maylander's regular messenger would take too long. Londinium needs supplies urgently. Huh. Eliseo, you're here too. Why didn't you stop her? Weren't you looking for her? Who? The speaker. The speaker? I saw her come out of an underground pub. That's where I came from. I happened to run into her when she went to have a drink with old friends. Sounds like she really considers herself your friend. Yeah, if only she considered herself more than a friend. Diane? Eliseo, I've always felt that Londinium could become a better place, that Victoria would be proud of her. Can't the speaker finally make that happen, though?
A reasonable result. I'd doubt your ability to achieve your ambitions if coping with this was beyond you.
I wonder what the... Oh, we've got Catherine.
Save your hospitality, Doctor. I'm only checking in my grandson here. I'll park myself in your office for a bit. Give him time to hide all his gadgets. Don't constipate yourself either. Just say the word if Rhode Island wants a favour done.
We'll have to look at her. But
Have you
I
been doing
wonder
well
if...
lately, Doctor?
What the Steam Knights were a part of. The Steam Knights were like their own military group. Are they just part of like whose authority are they technically under? Because I feel like maybe that's what just the Exemplars should be, is like the new kind of Steam Knights in a sense. Were they just like Parliament's army? Were they just their own? I don't know. Steam Knights were an elite branch of Victorian army. I guess they're just part of the Victorian army then. Well, the Exemplars could be a branch of that. So Catherine's an artificer. Carries two the support devices that grant a barrier to 10% for max HP. If the target has not received an attack within 5 seconds, the barrier replenishes by 6% of her max HP every second. Cannot go over the starting limit. Cool. Attack plus 6%, defense plus 6% for self and other operators who have a barrier granted by her device. Skill 2, stops attacking, plus 25% max HP, plus 10% defense. Device effect changes to granting a barrier to the target, equivalent to 6% of her max HP every second. cannot exceed her talents limit. So, okay. So normally they get a 15% barrier that after 5 seconds of not being attacked will replenish by 6% every second. But the skill makes it so that it's just constantly replenishing. I guess, okay. Fair enough. I feel like I should try out Artificers at some point. None of them are like super standout, it feels. She grants a healing barrier. Her first skill gives a bit of a attack and defense buff with that as well. Stainless is good. Well, I don't have Stainless. I don't remember what he does. Stainless. Device effect is just based on the skills. Has a chance to recycle devices, so his skills, first skill, device gives an ally 12% attack when it's equipped. When activated, immediately gain a device attack 170% of the attack as physical damage and device effect times 3. So 3 times the attack. Skill 2. Operators gain SP every 3.5 seconds. Attack plus 40%, attack defense plus 40%, attacks all blocked enemies. Device boosted to 1 SP every 2 seconds, but HP loss is doubled. HP loss. The thing okay, the thing loses HP. Okay. Device or skill 3. Device can be attacked by allied operators but does not take damage. Can deal physical damage with its skill but loses HP. When activated, immediately gains 10% attack and 10. These skills are weird. Does it deal damage when you attack it? Is that what's happening? The descriptions are kind of vague. Oh, I guess it just lets people who have offensive charge their skills. Roberta gives defense and a shield. Which is just a one-time damage damage block. Although it can get 2 shields. I think the skills are just buffing her. And Windflit can only affect casters or supporters, granting them attack and SP charging. The healing barrier by Catherine is probably the best of those ones, for sure, besides Feist, but I would have to see. I mean, I guess it's like it's a free. Well, it depends on how much HP she really gets. It's like 15% of her max HP. Her max HP is we'll do E2, I guess. So it's 22%, so a barrier of 589 HP. I'm not sure how effective that is. I mean, even Penance, who her barrier, which is like way higher, I still struggle with like making that be useful, personally. Think about it. I'll think about it. I probably could use with additional support characters at the very least. For now, that is all. We'll try and finish tomorrow. We'll see what happens though. This is a pretty long one. That's all for now, so thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, may the sands of time treat you well.